Hello everyone, I'm Chris, Suffolk record collector, back again with another video. This time, this is all stuff that's made it into the collection over the last couple of months, but this time it's more cheaper records, you know, cheap heat. Amazing records, but not a lot of money. So none of these cost as much as a modern record or a modern reissue does. Nowhere near. Some of these were only a few pounds. I think the most expensive one in here I paid £25 for, but the others, you know, 10, 15, 6 or 7. A couple ended up actually being free. I'm going to explain that later, but these are all from record shops, nothing online, so they all found in the wild, and they're all amazing records in their own right. Different genres here. So let's start off with the first record. Okay, this is a good record. This was priced up at £7. Found it in a bargain bin, priced for £7. It's a lovely copy, lovely condition, and it's a bit of a cult album. It's an album with a story, which you might know, you might not. So what's the album? Okay. Spirit, The Adventures of Captain Copter and Commander Cassidy in Potato Land. Released here in the UK in 1981 on Beggar's Banquet. Released in the US on Rhino, I believe. As you can see, lovely copy. Fantastically good condition. The vinyl. Covers VG. Got quite a bit of wear around the edges. So why is this a cult album? Why is this, you know? Well, what's the story behind this album? Well, go back in time. Spirit, American psych rock band, were always recorded on Epic up until 74, 73, 74. Then they went on to Mercury, the Spirit 76 and other albums along there, Son of Spirit, and other albums on Mercury. Well, in 1973, I'll get the fact, yeah, around about 1973, they presented a tape to Epic entitled Potato Land. They wanted to release their next album on Epic, and it got rejected. So they revised it, rejected, and it kept getting rejected. So that's the main reason they split from Epic, because they wouldn't release the album based on the tapes that they did. So I went to Mercury. Things, you know, got forgot about. But in about 1973 to 74, Bob Harris, DJ on Radio, I think it was Radio 1 at the time, got hold of a copy of the tape with the Potato Land tape, and he played it on air a few times, sort of like 15-minute segments, and explained that that's, you know, album that never got released. And there's quite a big fan base in the UK for Spirit around about that time. Anyway, in 1975, Spirit embarked on a UK tour. So they came here to the UK, toured all around the UK, and at one of the gigs, they were by the fan club, president of the UK fan club, presented band Spirit with a petition with over 1,000 names on it, to please release the album Potato Land, if they could, you know. So in an interview I saw, that really shocked Randy California, because he didn't realise that his fans in the UK were so passionate about the band at that time. So he went away and revisited the project he had and released Potato Land. If you want to hear the original tape, then you need to pick up the box set, CD box set, which contains this album and also most of the original tapes with other bits on it as well. So it's well worth picking up. Is the album any good? So that's the story of the album. It's an album with quite a bit of story to it. Is it any good? Yes, it's a very good album. Is it as good as their really, really good stuff like 12 Dreams, Band That Played Together? It's a bit different, but it's still very good. Bearing in mind this was released in '81. It's one of their last releases. Well worth listening to. If you're a Spirit fan and you've not heard this, it's well worth listening to, picking up and listening to, because it is a very, very good album with a bit of history to it. Especially if you're a Spirit fan, you're going to really like it. So, and I mean, cheap. You can get this. I mean, Discog's price on this is like next to nothing. And it comes with a comic, but this copy never came with a comic. No comic. So it's one to look out for. But don't see it. I mean, I haven't seen. I had this originally years ago, back in the 80s, and then it got purged from the collection when I was right young or whatever, like younger. And I've been wanting to put it back into the collection for a while. You see it online now and again, but out in the wild, I just don't see it. So it is worth picking up. It's a very good album. So that's Spirit. Next, an album from '73, UK first pressing from '73, cost me 15 quid. That's a very, very good album. That's the Alice Cooper Band, Muscle of Love, in its original cardboard box cover. You see that? So that opens up here. You can open it up. Inside, you got the original record on Warner. Beautiful condition. Ever hardly played, if ever. The original inner came with this inner, original inner. Advertising Institute of Nude Wrestling, and it came with this other piece as well, like that. Insert. Great album. I really like it. Not to be confused with Alice Cooper. Well, it's the same person, but this is the Alice Cooper Band, which went on till '74, I believe, and then he went solo in '75 with Welcome to My Nightmare, which is an amazing album. But these earlier albums of Alice Cooper, the Alice Cooper Band, yeah, I really like. They are good albums. On here, track-wise, on here, you've got side 1. Big Apple Dreamin', Never Been Old Before, Hard Hearted Alice, and Crazy Little Child. B-side, Work and a Sweat, Muscle of Love, Man with the Golden Gun, brilliant, and Teenage Lament, brilliant, and Woman Machine. 1973, UK first pressing, in near mint condition. 15 quid. Records, and that's an amazing record, it really is, and records don't have to be expensive, you know. Yeah, we all know there are expensive records out there, but you don't see this very often because the box got crushed over the years, didn't it? You know, it's from 1973, don't forget. You know, so but yeah, Really pleased to have found that. And I actually found another Alice Cooper album as well. At the same time, I bought them both. This one was a little bit cheaper. I think this was, no, this was 50. I think, yeah, I paid 30 quid for the two, I believe. And this is nice. This is an original copy of School's Out by the Alice Cooper Band in its original cover. That opens up like a desk. You know, right? So it opens up like a school desk. Yeah. And then you've got the feet on the back, which have never been opened, I don't think, to stand it up so you can stand it up like a school desk. The only thing that's missing is it didn't come with the knickers. So it would have come in the rec will come in a poly sleeve with a little pair of white knickers around it. So they haven't survived. They very rarely do, I believe. Again, on Warner Brothers, slightly different label, but lovely condition. Lovely condition. Yeah, again, 15 quid. Not bad at all. And I mean, track wise on here, you've got side one, you've got side one's here. School's Out, Looney Tune, Gutter Cat versus the Jets, Street Fight, Blue Turk. Side two, you have My Stars, Public Animal Number 9, Alma Mater, and Grand Finale. Really good. Great stuff. Again, the Alice Cooper Band. This one's from 72. Yeah, 1972. First press, UK first pressing. Really pleased to have found that. Great album. Next, a great album. Yeah, this is their breakout album. Really set the tune for the rest of their career, really, through the 70s. I had a following up to this point, but this is what really pushed it. That's Thin Lizzy Jailbreak, UK first pressing. One I never had in my collection. I've never owned this album before, and I like Thin Lizzy, and I got a lot of Thin Lizzy, but I'd never actually owned this album. So I was really pleased when I found this, and it was not a lot of money at all, under 20 quid. And a lot of the time this doesn't survive very well. Yeah, very good condition. It's an original UK first. Beautiful condition, really is nice. Not mark on it, hardly, no spindle marks, no nothing, you know. Which is surprising, because I would have imagined this album got played, you know, if it had this album played it. Really good. And they were evidently I saw a documentary recently, or not a documentary, an interview, I believe it was Scott Gorham, and he was saying that when they recorded this album, they were under a bit of pressure because they'd signed to Vertigo before, and they'd released a couple of albums that didn't sell very well. That would be Fight and Johnny the Fox, I believe, which are brilliant albums, but you know, they hadn't quite found the sound that they're really famous for yet from there. And they were under pressure from Vertigo, because Vertigo evidently were probably going to let them go if this flopped as well. But so they went away. This is where they started to develop more, and they produced this album, which is an absolute rock classic, in my opinion. And you can still find copies of this, as I did, for 20 quid, or just under 20 quid, I think this was. 18 quid, something like that. Like this. First press, lovely condition. obviously track-wise on here. Well, the band at this point is Phil Lynott, obviously Scott Gorham, Brian Downey and Brian Robertson. This was released in '76. Side 1, Jailbreak, Angel from the Coast, Running Back, Romeo and the Lonely Girl, Warriors. Side 2, The Boys Are Back in Town, Fight or Fall, Cowboy Song and Emerald. What a... And the rest is history, really, isn't it? Yeah. An absolute storming rock album from Thin Lizzy there. And another storming album from a band that I do like. I do have stuff from. And around the time, this was released in '79, and around the time this was released, I was listening to this band, but not this album. They had a hit with a single in the charts, you'll see in a minute. And I never really heard this album. Never really consciously sat down and really listened to this album. So this was cheap. I can't remember what I paid, but it was 20 quid or just under. And it come with a little extra as well, which I'll show you, which is a nice thing to have. Anyway, the album's Permanent Waves by Rush. And what a good album this is. Jesus. It's a UK first pressing. You can see here, the first pressing has got the newspaper intact with the bulletin head in there. Okay. Later editions, later pressings have this blacked out, blanked out. So that's how you can tell the first press of this album. It came with its original lyric inner. And it's on Mercury. Lovely condition. And this is a fantastic album. We all rave about some of the other albums that they've done. But I do. The ones I really like, Fly By Night and Power of the Kings. To name just two albums that I think are absolutely brilliant by Rush. Because I don't like everything that they've done. But this is now going to be up there with it as well. Because this is amazing. Side 1, you got Spirit of Radio, which was a huge single for them here in the UK. Free Will, Jacob's Ladder. Side 2, Entre Nous, Different Strings and Natural Science. Sorry if I've just really annihilated Entre Nous. Huh? But inside it, cause when I picked it up I thought, that's a bit thick. You know, something in there, I don't know what it is. But anyway, someone has put inside a programme from the Rush 1980 World Tour. And if you see here, you can see that the newspaper has been blacked out. So they didn't have permission to use that newspaper header. You know, it's just a nice thing. It's a full programme, you know, showing different things. I mean, look at that drum kit. Look at that drum kit Neil Peart was using. I weren't at this gig or nothing like that. I never saw them. Never seen Rush live at all. Just showing a few bits, but just a nice thing that was inside the record. So someone had been to see Rush on the 1980 tour, and the previous owner of this record, and had been kind enough to put it inside. Yeah, and this is an amazing album. I really like this. This is really high on the Rush albums that I like, that I really like. Well worth listening to. Can't believe that I hadn't heard it, not consciously all the way through before, because it is a good one. Next, this is the most expensive album of the whole lot here. and I can tell you how much I paid for this, 25 quid. I believe the reissue of this, the modern reissue of this is way more than this. This is a UK first pressing. And it's a great album. And that's Derek and the Dominoes, Layla and other assorted love songs. We all know the album, we should do. I just never ever had it in my collection. I got it on CD, but vinyl wise, I'd never ever put it. And it's a double album. I'll just show you one of the albums on Polydor, and this is unplayed, not a spindle mark. Oh, this is beautiful. And like I say, UK first pressing, 25 quid. Contains the title track Layla, obviously. Duane Allman, the late great Duane Allman, plays on here as well. It's just fantastic. I'm not that much into Clapton, to be honest, but Cream, yes, and this, yes, and this era Clapton, yes, I am into. But when he went, on a bit more into the 70s and that, it's kind of a little bit more accessible, commercial. Not quite so much, although it is good stuff. He's an amazing player. But that is a really, really good record. Yeah, well, like I say, 25 quid for a UK first pressing, and you can get them for that. I mean, I did. You can. You know what I mean? Here's another really good album, but it's a comp, and I do like comps, but they got to be good comps. Compilations, and this is for me is a good one, and this is cheap. I mean, what I paid for this again, about £8. That's beautiful condition. History of the Birds. I believe this was released in '73. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's a double album. But what I like about it, you've got inside the gatefold a real nice family tree, History of the Birds, which is quite interesting. Trust me, that is really quite interesting. It came on CBS. It's a double album, just show you one. It's got the original inners, came with, and again, it's a near mint copy on CBS. Really cheap. You can pick this up really cheap. That's really good, and it is going through the history of the Birds, but that's hard to do in a double album now, I suppose. But I love the Birds anyway, so I would pick this up because I just like how the tracks run. So you know what I mean? Yeah, it's really good. Anyway, side one, so starting off with the earlier stuff, and then that's going through to the later stuff. So side one, Mr. Tambourine Man, Turn, Turn, Turn. She Don't Care About Time, Wild Mountain Time, 8 Miles High, Mr. Spaceman, Fifth Dimension. Side 2, Do You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star, Time Between, My Back Pages, Lady Friend, Going Back, Old John Robertson, and Wasn't Born to Follow. Side 3, You Ain't Going Nowhere, Hickory Wind, Nashville West, Drugstore Truck Driving Man, Gunga Din, Jesus Is Just Alright, and Ballad of Easy Rider. Side 4, Chestnut Mare, Yesterday's Train, Just a Season, Citizen Kane, Jamaica Say You Will, Tiffany Queen, and America's Great National Pastime. Yeah, really good. I mean, you can't go wrong. For me, you can't go wrong. Beautiful condition. Yeah, it's a comp, but I really like it, and it's well worth picking up because it's cheap, and you're getting a lot of music there that's good quality. It sounds good, and you're getting a lot of music there for your money. I mean, you pay a tenner for one of them, one really nice one. It's not a lot, is it, today? What records cost today. Next. Yeah. A good album. We're going a soul album. I believe this was released in '75. Yeah, it was. That's the album Telenet by Ann Peebles. Very underrated singer, American artist. Released, this was released in the US on High Records, here on London. She released quite a few records in the 70s, had a few releases, and they're all fantastic. There are some really, really good ones. Like I say, this is from 75. This is really good. It's a bit different to your Motown and your Stax stuff. This is coming out of, I want to say, yeah, Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah, recorded at Royal Recording Studios, Lauderdale, Memphis, Tennessee. And it's got different sound to Motown and all that. It's a bit funky. It's yeah, it's really, really good. Hard to describe, but she was an amazing singer, highly underrated. Tracks on here, side one, Come to Mama, I Don't Lend My Man, I Need Somebody, Stand By Woman, It Was Jealousy. Side two, Doctor Love Power, You Can't Hold a Man, Beware, Put Yourself in My Place, and Love Played Again. Oh, fantastic. I listen to this a lot at night, if I'm sitting down relaxing. You know, we like to hear this, and it's well worth picking up. Again, this is a near mint copy, UK first on London Records. Don't think it had ever been played. I think I paid 15 quid for this. You probably might find it cheaper, but this is an unplayed mint album, and it's very, very good. Very, very good. Highly recommended. If you like your soul music and what have you, just something that sounds just a little bit different, and it does, then check out Ann Peebles. Well worth checking out. Right, next, we're nearly there actually. Again, if you've watched my videos, you'll know that I'm fairly new to actually sitting down and listening properly to the Smiths. I've picked up one or two in the last month of Smiths albums. I think they're amazing. Disregarded them for years and years and years. Just wasn't listening to that sort of stuff when they were about. I found this the other week and picked it up. It was cheap. You know, wasn't a lot of money at all, and that's Be the Hate by Morrissey. This is good. I'm not so sure I like it as much as like The Queen is Dead, but no, I certainly don't like it as much as The Queen is Dead. I don't think it's as good as that, but it's still a very good album. This is from '88. Tracks on here: Alsatian Cousin, Little Man, What Now, Every Day Is Like Sunday, Bengali and Platforms, Angel Angel, Down We Go Together, Late Night Maudlin Street, Suede Head, Break Up the Family, The Ordinary Boys, I Don't Mind If You Forget Me, Darla Cliche, and Margaret on the Guillotine. I still think this is great. This is great. Well worth picking up. You see it. Came with its original inner. Like I say, it's from 1988 on it's Master's Voice. Lovely condition. Again, not expensive. I can't remember what I paid for this, but it was around the £20 mark, just under. Well, probably just under 20, to be fair. Yeah, really nice. And a real good listen. Don't know it well yet at all, but I have heard it a couple of 3 times, and I really do like what I'm hearing on that. And lastly, another one that was found in a bargain basement, in a bargain bin. I think this was like £7. And I already have a copy, but not this one. This is the first press. I'll show you in a moment. The other one is, but this is the proper first press of Teardrop Explodes, Kilimanjaro. £7, I think I paid for this. That's a brilliant album. Let's go, it's original in it. Label, love that label. Yeah, great. This is a great album, Julian Cope and Teardrop Explodes. I had like a second pressing of this, which has got the track reward on it, where this doesn't have the track reward on. So this was released before that was recorded. This is my original copy of Teardrop Explodes Kilimanjaro. This has reward on it. The other one didn't. Brilliant, brilliant albums. Obviously, it says reward on it. I just love the cover art to this. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I had that for many years. So was really pleased when I found this as the true first pressing from 1980 or 81. I don't know when this is from. 81 I believe, but it might be 1980. Oh well, should have done my research. 80 or 81. Excellent album. So that's it with the Cheap Heat. I haven't spent too long on some of these because they're well-known albums. They're, been talked about many times before. But this is just going to prove you haven't got to spend a lot of money on records. You don't have to. I mean, you can find cheap records. Albeit these are, popular titles that were about in the day, so they did get pressed a lot, you know what I mean? So they're not obscure, scarce things or anything like that at all. But still, the music in them grooves is amazing. Okay, so that's it from me. Thank everyone who subscribes and watches the videos and gives a thumbs up, because that helps to get more of that helps to get the videos out to a wider range. So thank you all for that, and until next time when I've got more records to show, that's it. Thank you.